is that my God is that God, and their gods are antedated by these other gods. In other words, the inference as relates to all other gods seems to be that they had a beginning. If you would notice, the religion began in 500 BC or in the 8th century BC and so on and so forth, and all of them are antedated by my God, because my God has no beginning. Before the beginning was ever begun, my God had already began to begun. My God has not a mere beginning. He was begun before the beginning ever had a beginning. My God did not begin in BC nothing or AD nothing. For the Bible simply says, in the beginning, God. And then when the psalmist was puzzled as to when my God began, he simply, after great investigation, concluded by saying, from everlasting to everlasting, thou art God. And the Apostle John, in the first chapter and first verse of this book, talks about my God beginning when he says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So then, my brothers and my sisters, my God is antedated by all these other gods, for before anything was, my God was. And the next thing about these religions is that the God or the gods of the other religions are basically what I like to call hitchhikers, particularly in their work. What I'm talking about is that these other gods was really statues or images. For instance, if you was a Buddhist, if you was rich enough and you needed Buddha, your God, to come see about you, you could do one or two things. Either you could travel overseas to India where Buddha is, or you could have to summon the priesthood of Buddhism and have Buddha brought to you. And if they brought Buddha to you, they would have to rather load him up on some kind of cart and transport God Buddha to where they were. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't know how you feel, but as for me, I personally don't want a God who, when I need him, he's out somewhere hitchhiking, thumbing a ride, trying to get to where I am. Oh, no. I personally do not want a God that when I'm in trouble or when I'm sick or when I'm depressed or when I'm down and out, somebody got to go and get him and transport him to where I am. No. I don't know about you, but I don't want a God like that. I want a God who can come and see about me right now if he wants to. I personally want a God who is quicker than right now and who's sooner than at once. I want a God who can do me like Hezekiah's God did him. You Bible readers, y'all do remember Hezekiah, don't you? When he was sick, he was laying on his sick bed, and the Bible says he was sick unto death. And the prophet Isaiah came and said to Hezekiah, King Hezekiah, set thy house in order, for thou shalt surely die and not live. And while all of his family and servants were standing around looking sad and waiting on him to die, the Bible says King Hezekiah tuned them out by turning his head to the wall and prayed that God would spare his life and allow his moments to roll on just a little while longer. And the Bible says when King Hezekiah turned back over, the angel was there moving that sun back 10 degrees, adding 15 more years to Hezekiah's life. Now I tell you, that's the kind of God I like, who can move whenever he gets ready. I like a quick God. So these other gods, as far as I'm concerned, they are hitchhikers, particularly as to their work. The next difference between my God and these other gods is that if you were a believer in worship of Buddhism or Hinduism or Taoism or Zoroastrianism, the only thing that you could really marvel about is that these gods was really beautiful statues that had been made in precious stone and delicate elements of the earth. These other gods had diamond eyes and ruby lips, and they were made out of marble, jade, and sapphire, and other precious stones. I mean, you would have to marvel, oh, what beautiful diamond eyes Buddha got. Oh, how bright the gold shines on Buddha's chest. Oh, how the silver would glow around that sacred zodiac sign around Buddha's neck. For these gods could sure enough set and shine in the noonday sun. But there was no personal contact. There was no personal dealings between the believer and their beautiful God. I don't know about you, but as for me, I like a God that not only sit and shine in the noonday sun, but comes and do in the midnight hour. I like a God whom I got some personal contact with. Don't care how busy my God is, I like to know that he's got time for me. I want a God I can say, feed me when I was hungry, picked me up when I was down, I healed my body when I was sick, and paid my rent when I was about to be put out of doors. I want a God who I've got some personal contact with, personal dealings with. My God has the whole world in his hand, but he still got time for little old me. My God's mine. Yours, yes, but still he's mine. He's my God. Let me show you if you don't mind. David said it first, the Lord is my shepherd, and I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still water. He restored my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, because thou art with me. Thy rod, thy staff, they comfort me. They prepare the table before me in the presence of my enemies, and my enemies may not be your enemies. And thou anointed my head with oil, and my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. I tell you, he's mine. So I need a God whom I've got some personal contact with, personal dealings with. That's the kind of God that I have. And then the question arises at this point, when is God, and what makes God God? Well, let's see. God is God when he has made everything that has been made.